Hey everyone, it's Jace with another Ever Crisis video. This is 2 in 1 day. I just did the Lapina Coast Very Hard Dungeon Event video. This time, I'm going to be showing you guys Iron Giant EX2. This fight just dropped a couple of hours ago. I haven't pulled on the Zach or Glenn banner yet, or Zach and Glenn banner yet. I don't want to see if I can get it done without pulling. This is my team. It's a full first soldier team. I'm running Lucia as my main DPS. All the materia there except for the water blow materia are just there for stats. I have the bald eagle as her main weapon just because I have it as her strongest weapon, gives a lot of physical attack. And her sub weapon is, I believe, called Serpent Eater. It's actually her water physical attack weapon. She's not going to be using that weapon's command ability throughout the fight because the water materia is actually going to lead to more damage. For Glenn, he's going to be my secondary DPS / support debuffer kind of dude. As you can see, I have a Debrave level 1 equipped on him and a breach that, I'm not kidding, please don't hate me, I made it like 15 minutes ago. I just put in some like extra synth materials and it came out as a 4-star with pretty decent stats. For his sub weapons, it's all free event gear, whether it's summons or limited time events. And then Matt, in this run, I'm actually going to run him as a healer. In my previous videos, I've run him as a physical DPS, so he's one of my most versatile characters. I love using Matt. He's great. I have, again, some materia that's just going to be for stats. The water blow is going to be the main button he's hitting, as well as the breach materia that you saw in his third slot. I, of course, have Prime Number as the main weapon, and his secondary weapon is one to decrease his physical attack, which is really important for this fight. So basically, Iron Giant, he's not too different if you already fought him in floor 30 or 450 of the Tower of Cetra. Right here at the beginning, I'm switching to Matt immediately to make sure that Matt doesn't use any abilities, because the Iron Giant starts off with a physical attack up. You're going to want to get rid of that buff. So to do that, I'm using Matt's weapon. I think it's called the Slick Beetle. Using both his weapon, and I have the Debrave that's equipped on Glenn, and I'll be bouncing back and forth between the two of them. You see me also bouncing to Glenn here. That's to make sure that he uses his ATB to attack instead of using his Hardcore Squad command ability, which is Good Vibes, which is a physical and magical defense buff for everybody, but at low potency. Not really needed there, so I wanted to make sure he kept attacking. Here you can see the boss also buffs his physical defense. So that's why I have a breach materia equipped on both Matt and Glenn. So jumping back and forth between the two of them to make sure they use that breach ability. And Lucia just sits there attacking the whole time. She gets to just sit and do DPS the whole fight. Something that you noticed that I did there was I briefly switched to defensive stance. That's really important for this boss fight. It's nice because all of his auto attacks, they hit hard, but they're very well telegraphed. You'll see he does like a little, for most of them, he'll do like a little movement, like he'll shift his body weight, and that means he's about to attack. So you can pop on over to defensive stance and then pop right back to attack stance before you lose any of your combat gauge. So you don't have to lose any damage as you're doing this swapping between attack stance and defensive stance. So majority of the fight is just going to be removing the boss's buffs by applying your own debuffs. I honestly didn't memorize any phases here. I memorized the beginning because, I mean, come on, it's literally the first thing that he does. It's pretty easy to remember, oh, he's going to buff his attack, so get ready to dispel that. For this stream phrase, oh my gosh, stream phase. I keep saying stream phrase, I have no idea why. But you can see I'm once again jumping back and forth between Glenn and Matt just to use that breach materia. And during it, the boss is still going to use auto attacks. Those are also pretty well telegraphed. You should be able to hop on over to defensive stance in the middle of the stream phase to reduce the amount of damage you take. The limit breaks that I brought, I didn't really go over them as I was going over my character's gear. I brought Glenn's main limit break, which is the damage one you just saw, but I brought Lucia and Matt's secondary ones. Matt's grants a mid-potency physical and magical defense shield to the whole party, and Lucia's debuffs, I believe, physical and magical attack at mid-potency. And that's going to be important for something that's coming up, which is the boss's Grand Sword ability. It's this really strong AoE that can just absolutely clap you if you're not ready for it. In fact, in the EX1, the first time it killed me. And then the second time I hadn't really min-maxed how I was going to survive it. It brought my party down to like 10% HP. Here, you can see that I'm ready for it. This part of the fight I did remember. I debuffed the boss's physical attack with Matt and Glenn, and we're going to be stacking both limit breaks here. Additional physical attack down via Cerulean Raven, Lucia's secondary limit break, and a nice juicy shield from Matt's secondary limit break. And on top of that, I also have Glenn's hardcore squad weapon, which will grant one more level of defense that I'm going to put onto the whole party. So we're sitting nice and cozy for this Grand Sword, only 50% of our HP, and we're ready to heal it back up immediately with Matt. Just one fun fact with Matt, his prime number healing shower or whatever, if you let the AI use it, the AI will stay in defensive stance for too long and you'll lose some of your combat gauge. Once you have already hit the button, if you hit the button while you're in defensive stance, you can immediately switch back to attack stance before the heal actually hits your party, and you'll still gain the benefit from the defensive stance. So just keep that in mind if you're using Matt. It's a nice little thing. So here we are still just same old, same old. If we see an attack buff, we debuff it. If we see a defense buff, we debuff it. And otherwise, this is a pretty cozy fight. Here at the end, you don't have to worry too much here. You still want to keep his physical attack debuffed, but he's going to be attacking very slowly. His attacks are going to hurt more, but here's something you can do. As the first one is coming, if you have a limit break, you can just pop it right there. And he's going to have to wait to redo his next auto attack. Shout out to Painblade for showing that in his Tower of Cetra floor 50 video. That's how I got the idea for that. And in here, again, the attack is just very, very clearly telegraphed. So you can just hop on over to defensive stance to mitigate it. And yeah, I mean, the fight's pretty much over. I believe he's gonna Mighty Guard. And I think at this point, it was just very, very clear that I was going to win. I'd actually already cleared this before. I just wanted to make a video of it. But I decided I would still try to remove the boss's defense buff anyway, just because why not? Like, he's not going to kill me at this point. But you can probably just kill him through it if you have him this low. And the End Spirit, like, there's no need to... I was far enough ahead that there was no way he was going to get that off, especially since we toppled him by removing his defense buff. And there you have it. That's the Iron Giant EX2. As long as you just bring the necessary debuffs, you're good to go. I know I had the mid-potency physical attack down on Matt. You can probably get away with just having 2 characters with debrave materia. I'm sure that would work well. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!